The screech of a metal detector as you pass by or spikes at the entrance of a facility before you drive in are all elements you may be familiar with. Since the 2013 Westgate attack, the country's approach to countering terrorism has trickled into the places visited on a daily basis in order to safeguard lives. However, are the measures enough? Some argue that more resources need to be pumped into the private security sector to empower security guards and other relevant staff. In our special report tonight, 10 years on, following the Westgate attack, Nginaki Ruri spoke to experts and the director of the National Counter-Terrorism Center to assess the levels of the country's awareness a decade after the tragic attack.
September 21st, 2013 is an occurrence the country would love to forget. However, despite the attack on Westgate Mall upsetting the country's semblance of peace and security, it paved the way for a raft of changes.
Westgate is instructive because out of Westgate, a very good thing was born for Kenya, and that is agencies coming together, working together, no more silos, sharing information, doing operations together to bring down the threat of terrorism.
Because of course, without intelligence, you are as vulnerable as a sitting duck. So we've seen a lot more investment in the intelligence, and many times we fail to appreciate the role the intelligence services have played.
One of the most visible changes which took place in the aftermath of the attack are the now normalized metal detectors at shopping malls.
While some of the measures were still in place before the Westgate attack, the seriousness of them was only taken after the 2013 destruction that happened at Westgate, such as here in supermarkets. However, those in the security sector still argue much more needs to be done to empower those in the private security sector to ensure that all lives of Kenyans are safeguarded.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of there's quite a lot to be done. We are not at a position that really is desirous as a country, and the private security sector needs a lot of mainstreaming, especially ensuring that private security companies are training their guards to the level that they are able to be our frontline security response mechanism.
Security and convenience are actually a tight balance, and we have to really balance it perfectly on this scale. You may think it is inconvenient, but you know, perhaps that check, for example, you may have nagging on you, but you can imagine if this person who is checking, who has a responsibility to check, ignored you and ignore the next person, even whether the next person is the one who turns out to be the terrorist.
Experts also argue that the implementation of the Private Security Act 2016, which has seen a lot of private security companies aligned to the proper mandate of protecting citizens among legislation, has helped the private security sector.
Because terrorism is not a crime like just murder or robbery with violence. Terrorism is highly compartmentalized. Terrorists operate in cells. And so what one cell may know is not necessarily what the other one knows. In the end game, they all know they want to conduct a terrorist attack, but they compartmentalize so that the one cell does not, even if it is discovered, does not blow up their operations.
Citizens are also considered an important layer in the security ecosystem of the country. However, the National Counter-Terrorism Center is urging Kenyans to be vigilant about information but wary of fake news.
A lot have been done in terms of improving interagency cooperation. You hear of multi-agency operations and multi-agency teams. This is a concept that came off from the developments and part of the lessons and learnings from the Westgate Mall terror attack.
I see sometimes online Kenyans, terrorists post violent content and Kenyans share it. I would want to encourage people, please do not share anything violent that terrorists do, because doing that you are doing the work of the terrorists. You see, they want publicity. So they post all these propaganda videos. Sometimes they post very repugnant content in there.
Other than a paradigm shift in the country's security, tales of resilience also came out of the attack, putting a spear in the agenda of spreading fear and terror despite the ever-looming threat of the enemy. Ngina Kirori, NTV.